You're the last person left that I need to talk to. This entire thing has been a disaster. No. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Please, do not try to sugarcoat it. When our vampire queen asked me to take on this assignment, that's right, she did not order, she asked. When she asked me to take on this assignment, I agreed to help her out because of the special relationship that the three of you have with her. So let me just see if I understand how this works. Once every handful of decades, you go out and you basically invite a man to your large, opulent mansion. You and your two sisters. Now, before you invite him, you do a ton of research on him. You're looking for good men, genuinely good, kind-hearted men with good souls, but who have led hard lives. They're lonely, they're miserable, they're bored, they don't have family, they have almost no friends. And you invite them to your mansion and you test them. And if they pass, meaning they really are truly good, well, you don't let them leave. You tell them that you and your sisters are vampires, and then you offer the man many years of luxury, whatever he could want, except for his freedom. A relationship with you and your sisters. Every now and then, you feed from him. In exchange for that, you take care of him. He gets whatever he wants. He gets pleasure. He gets taken care of. Whatever expensive physical item he might want, rings, Rolex watches, Patek Philippe watches, whatever he could want. Only thing is, he has to stay with you. He can't leave. But then again, who'd want to leave? A life of misery, boredom, no family, no wife, no kids, barely any friends, if any, horribly lonely. What the three of you are offering is basically paradise. But the problem is, he can't ever leave. The problem is you kidnap him. Now, I get it. Over the centuries, most of the men whom you have made that offer to on an individual basis once every handful of centuries, I get it. They usually immediately take you up on the offer. They need a few days to think about it. Every now and then, someone resists you, but that usually doesn't last too long. Maybe a handful of weeks. How long has this particular man resisted you since you kidnapped him? 5 months. 5 months he has resisted you. That means no pleasure for any of you. Quite frankly, it's a miracle that he has held out this long and been able to resist your charms and that of your sisters for this long. Look, clearly, this time around, you picked someone who is not interested. There's 3 incidents I want to talk about. The first one, why do you and your sisters give him a choice before feeding on him? Each and every single time, you and your sisters give him a choice, pleasure or pain. What has he chosen for the last 5 months? Pain. Pain, 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 pain. That should tell you something about his mentality. Why even offer him a choice to make it seem as though he has a choice? The important choice, leave or stay, he doesn't have that. You took that away from him. The choices that matter, he does not have a say in it. No wonder he thinks that he's a slave and your prisoner. The only choice you've given him, pleasure or pain. So he chooses pain because he knows that all 3 of you want him to pick pleasure. He knows that all 3 of you want him to surrender to you, or at least one of you. That way it'll make it easier for the other 2 later on, but he refuses. He knows you want him to pick pleasure, so he picks pain, and he endures it, just to spite you. He thinks you're evil, you and your sisters, despite what you're offering him. Years, maybe a couple of decades or more of pleasure. And I get it, you usually go after somewhat older men who are more likely to take you up on your offer, who have experienced life and it's beaten them down. But he's not interested, yet you and your sisters just don't get that. I don't understand. Well, let's talk about 2 other incidents that your sisters brought to my attention. I think this explains why he's never gonna surrender to any of you. First incident. This was about 2 months after you had taken him, kidnapped him. Let's not sugarcoat it, that's what you did, you and your sisters. So let's just deal with the incident. He developed some sort of stomach virus. He was vomiting like crazy. Thankfully, you kept him caged up in your bedroom. Your bedroom, your sister's bedroom. I've seen the bed, it's huge. There's enough room for 5 people. And of course, that's where he sleeps because he has no choice. So you, your sisters, and the man whom you kidnapped all sleep in the same bed. And right next to the bed is a bathroom. And he was spending way too much time vomiting in there. So you went out and you got him some medicine. Great. Unfortunately, you put it into a giant needle that scared the crap out of him. And what happened? Yes, your sisters confirmed all of that. I'm confused as to why you don't think that what took place was the worst case scenario. So he figured that since he was vomiting in the toilet, he was no good to you anymore. He was no good to you to feed from or anything. So he thought you were going to euthanize him with that large needle full of medicine. That's what he thought. He thought you were going to put him down like an old, tired dog and just euthanize him. Your two sisters had to hold him down on the bed, and he actually broke loose, well, at least one of his arms. Your sister was so surprised she nearly broke his shoulder, holding him down even harder. Yes, a giant adrenaline dump because he was scared, he was terrified. He begged you, he begged you, begged you, begged you, begged you. He begged for you not to kill him that way. And what did you do? Did you stop? Did you let him up? Did you gently, soothingly explain to him that it was medicine, that you weren't going to hurt him? No. Your sisters continued to hold him down. You told him this was his... You told him this was his chance to be better. You told him that this is what he needed. And then you plunged that needle into him. And he screamed in fear, in pain, in sheer terror. And then he woke up a couple of hours later. What do you think he thought of you? Did he think that you had made him feel better? That you had gotten rid of his horrendous illness? No. He thought that you and your sisters were playing a horrendously cruel prank on him. He came to the conclusion, according to one of your sisters anyway, that one of you had used your hypnotic powers to make him think he was sick, just so you could pull that horrendous, tortuous prank on him and plunge that needle into him and hear him scream. He thinks you're sadistic, that you enjoy torturing the man whom you kidnap once every few decades to use as your plaything. Now, I know that's not true. You know that's not true. Your sisters know that's not true. Marcus and Alexandra, who are waiting for me downstairs, they know that's not true. He doesn't. You absolutely terrified and terrorized him. It wasn't your intent, but that's what happened. You had no chance in the world to ever get him to surrender to you after you did that. And I think the incident with the chain proves that. After the incident with the needle, the three of you decided that he needed to be chained in that large, opulent bedroom. So you did. And one day, one of you forgot to attach the lock. He thought it was a test. He sat on that bed until the three of you rushed back upstairs and found him there, sitting on the bed. And what did he say? He said he didn't enjoy being tested. He said he would have have ran away, but he figured that you would punish him with another sick, sadistic prank. So he sat there and waited for you to come back. You should have known then, at the absolute latest, you should have known then, that he would never surrender to you. He would never give his heart to any of you. He would never accept your offer of a couple of decades or more of pleasure in exchange for blood, in exchange for staying with you, in exchange for living a luxurious, fantastic life in the lap of luxury with the three of you. You should have known then. This man is never going to surrender to any of you, and yet you kept trying. Now, I'm not going to go over the other incidents. Those three are the main ones. I thought about going over the incident with the mouse. Yes, the little white mouse that snuck into your bedroom. The one whom he adopted as a friend, as a pet. He thought he could hide the mouse from you and your sisters. He was wrong. When you offered to get a shoebox, maybe a bit of shredded newspaper for the mouse, what did he do? He handed you the mouse and said, do whatever you want to do. Why did he do that? Tell me why. I know why. I want you to tell me. That's right. Because he figured that if you thought that mouse was his friend, he figured you would kill the mouse right in front of him just to teach him a lesson. He thought it was another cruel, sadistic prank. So he took his only friend in the world and he gave it to you. And he never played with that mouse ever again, did he? No, he didn't. Look, here's what we're gonna do, because this is not working, and our queen is very upset with the three of you. I mean, the longest any man ever held out was 4 weeks, except for this one. Right now, it's been 5 months. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna return with Marcus and Alexandra. I'm gonna talk with our queen, and I'm going to very strongly suggest that she put together a team of very loyal humans. We're gonna dress them up in paramilitary fatigues. We're gonna get a truck with camouflage paint. We're gonna get some weapons. Don't worry, they're not gonna work against you or your sisters, only against humans. And then a small group of not real vampire hunters are gonna raid this place. They're gonna take him out of here. They're going to spend some time in an undisclosed location with him, debriefing him. Then they're gonna set him up with a new identity, a new life, in a city far, far away. They're gonna give him some money, and he's gonna live the rest of his life any way he wants to, in a city far, far away from the three of you. It has to be this way. Yes, he will be monitored. He's gonna think that a group of vampire hunters rescued him. You will never see him again. Not you, not your sisters, and for heaven's sake, the next individual you choose to kidnap as his replacement, please, please make sure that it's someone who would genuinely want to be a prisoner in a very large, beautiful, gilded cage, enjoying the three of you as his fantasy women. That's what's gonna happen. Well, do you have a better idea? Or any idea? No, you don't. All right then. We're gonna take care of this. It'll probably take another couple of weeks